You have made a budget before. Maybe 3 of them. You sat down on a Sunday, opened a spreadsheet, and felt like a responsible adult for about 40 minutes. You gave every dollar a job. You color-coded the groceries. You even made a little tab for savings goals with a name like Freedom Fund. And then 2 weeks later, you quietly stopped looking at it, the way you stopped looking at a gym membership you still pay for. Here is the part nobody will tell you. That budget was never going to work, and it was not because you lacked discipline. It failed because almost everything you believe about budgeting is wrong, and you built the whole thing on top of the wrong belief. Let me name the belief first, because you have never said it out loud. You think budgeting is about controlling the big decisions: the rent, the car, the vacation, the occasional splurge you feel guilty about at checkout. You think if you white-knuckle the big obvious purchases, the money will behave. That is the lie. And it is a comforting lie, because the big purchases are the ones you can see. They are loud. They announce themselves. Your brain loves budgeting the loud stuff because it feels like progress, and it makes you the hero of the story. You said no to a $400 jacket, therefore you are frugal, therefore you are safe. Meanwhile, the actual money is leaving through a hole you never look at. Let me show you the mechanism, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Your money does not disappear in dramatic events. It disappears in small, quiet, repeating amounts that each feel too small to matter. The $9.99 here. The subscription you forgot renews. The $4 coffee that is not $4, it is $4 times 250 working days. That is $1,000 walking out the door in $1 shoes, so quietly you never hear the door close. This is the thing about invisible leaks. Individually, every single one of them passes the too small to care test. That is exactly why they survive. Your brain runs a cost check before it feels pain, and anything under about $5 gets waved through without a receipt. The alarm never goes off. 10 leaks, each under the alarm threshold, drain more than one big purchase you agonized over for a week. Think about the last time you actually felt a purchase. It was probably something that made you pause at the register, something where you looked at the total twice. That pause is your brain doing its job. It flags the number, it weighs it, it makes you feel a small pinch. Now think about the last 20 small charges that hit your account. You cannot name them, not one. They came and went without a single pinch, and that absence of pinch is not proof they were harmless. It is proof they slipped past the guard, so you budgeted the wrong war. You spent all your willpower guarding the front door while the money was climbing out the bathroom window, $5 at a time, 365 days a year. Now let me hit you with the second wrong belief, because this one is worse. You believe a budget is a plan for the future. A set of rules you write in advance about how you will behave. Next month, I will only spend this much on eating out. Next month, I will be different. A budget written that way is not a plan. It is a wish with a spreadsheet attached. You are making a promise on behalf of a future version of you who is tired, hungry, stressed, and standing in front of a card reader at 7 in the evening. That future, you did not sign the contract. That future, you never even read it. Here is the mechanism underneath. You are treating budgeting as prediction, when budgeting is actually detection. The point is not to guess what you will spend. The point is to catch what you already spent fast enough to feel it, because the pain is the entire product. If the spending never hurts, nothing changes, and small recurring charges are engineered specifically to never hurt. Think about how a subscription works on your nervous system. You feel the price exactly once, on the day you sign up, when you weigh it and decide it is worth it. After that, you never feel it again. It moves to autopay, and it becomes furniture. You stop seeing it, the way you stop seeing the couch. 12 months later, you are paying for a meditation app you opened twice, a streaming service you watched one show on, and a cloud storage plan for photos you could delete. None of it hurts. That is the problem. Nothing that costs you money should be painless, and these are designed to be painless on purpose. And it is not just apps. It is the gym you joined in January, the that you now drive past on the way to buy lunch. It is the insurance ad on the salesman folded into your monthly number so smoothly you never priced it separately. It is the premium tier you upgraded to for one feature you used once and forgot. It is the delivery membership that saves you money only if you order enough to justify it, which quietly encourages you to order more, which is the entire point. Each of these was a single decision made once and then handed to a machine that repeats it forever without ever asking you again. Let me put a number on it, because your brain respects numbers more than it respects feelings. The average person is carrying somewhere between 4 and 12 recurring charges they have completely forgotten about. Call the forgotten ones alone $40 a month. That is $480 a year for absolutely nothing. Not for a mistake, not for a splurge, for inattention. You would never hand a stranger $480. You are handing it to 12 strangers in installments with a smile, because each one only asks for a little. And here is the loss frame you need to actually sit in for a second. That money is not neutral. Losing it hurts roughly twice as much as gaining the same amount would feel good, which is exactly why finding a forgotten charge and killing it feels so disproportionately satisfying. You are not saving money. You are stopping a bleed. Those are different feelings, and your brain knows the difference. The strange thing is that your brain will fight harder to keep a $5 bill it can hold than to stop a $5 charge it cannot see, even though the charge takes that same $5 every single month, forever. Same money. One hurts, one is invisible. The invisible one is the one eating you. Now the third belief, and this is the one you are most proud of, so brace yourself. You believe that being frugal in the big moments earns you the small ones. You skipped the vacation, so you deserve the daily treats. You drive an old car, so the delivery fees are fine. You think you have built up moral credit. This is called moral licensing, and it is the single most expensive trick your own mind plays on you. Every time you do something responsible, you feel like you have earned the right to be a little irresponsible right after. You cancel the big trip, and then you order in 4 nights that week because you are the kind of person who saves on trips. The big win becomes the permission slip for a dozen small losses that quietly cost more than the trip would have. Watch how it plays out in a single week. On Monday, you pack your lunch and feel virtuous, so on Monday evening, you buy the drinks because you saved on lunch. On Wednesday, you skip the expensive shoes you wanted, so on Thursday, you upgrade the grocery order with 3 things you did not need because you are being so good with the shoes. By Sunday, you have said no to 1 big thing and yes to 9 small things, and the 9 small things won. The scoreboard in your head shows a proud red no on the big purchase. It does not show the 9 quiet yeses because those never felt like decisions at all. You see the pattern now. In all 3 beliefs, you are watching the wrong thing. The loud thing, the proud thing, the thing that lets you feel like a person with values. And while you are busy being that person, the leaks run in the background like a tap you cannot hear in another room. So let me tell you what is actually true, the part nobody bothers to say because it does not sell an app or a course. Budgeting is not about restriction. It is about visibility. The only reason a budget ever works is that it forces you to look at the small repeating charges you have trained yourself to ignore. That is the entire mechanism. Not discipline, not willpower, not being a better person, just looking. The people who are good with money are not stronger than you. They just have fewer blind spots. They see the leaks you have decided are invisible, and the leaks are invisible on purpose, not by accident. Every recurring charge in your life was designed by someone whose job was to make the price disappear from your awareness. The free trial that needs a card. The annual plan that renews without an email you will notice. The price that ends in 99, so your brain rounds it down. The bundle that hides 3 services inside 1 number. The cancel button buried 4 menus deep behind a survey that asks if you are sure. You are not fighting your own laziness. You are fighting teams of people paid specifically to make sure you never feel the drip, and they are very good at their jobs. They test the wording. They test the button colors. They measure exactly how much friction it takes to make you give up and keep paying. You are not imagining that it is hard to cancel things. It is hard by design. Now here is the part that will actually change something, so listen. Stop budgeting the future and start auditing the past. Pull up your last 3 months of statements. Not this month, 3 months, because a leak needs time to show its pattern. Go line by line, and next to every charge, ask one question. Did I feel this leave? If you felt it, it is fine. Leave it alone. If you did not feel it, if you had genuinely forgotten it existed until this exact moment, that is a leak, and leaks do not get a vote. You will find things. Everyone finds things. You will find a subscription you thought you cancelled a year ago. You will find a fee you have paid 40 times and never once questioned. You will find a small monthly charge attached to a decision you made in a completely different life, back when you were going to learn the guitar or run a marathon or edit videos. You will find the trial you forgot converted. You will find 2 services that do the same thing because you signed up for the second one and never killed the first. And when you find them, you will feel that sharp, specific sting, which is your brain finally registering the loss it was protected from. Let it sting. That sting is the only thing that makes this stick. Here is the peak. The one line I want you to keep. You do not have a spending problem. You have a noticing problem. Your money is not being stolen by your big, weak decisions. It is being nibbled to death by tiny ones you were built not to see. The dramatic purchase you feel guilty about is almost never the thing draining you. The thing draining you is the thing you have stopped looking at entirely, precisely because it is small enough to ignore and regular enough to become invisible. And that changes what a budget even is. A budget is not a cage you build to trap future you. A budget is a flashlight you point at the corners of your own spending where the money quietly walks out. You do not need more discipline. You need better lighting. So the next time you feel the urge to sit down and build another beautiful spreadsheet full of rules for a future you who will ignore them, do not. Do the ugly thing instead. Open the statements. Read the small numbers. Find the charges you forgot you pay. Cancel the ones that no longer earn their place. That single afternoon of looking will do more for your money than a year of promising to be good, and it will keep working every month after, because a leak you close stays closed while a rule you write gets broken by Wednesday. Because the money was never leaving through the front door. It was leaving through the leaks you decided were too small to watch. And they were counting on exactly that.